Talk about some first world problems here. The amount of drama that cruisers can create over something so small is just absolutely amazing. What they perceive to be the tiniest inconvenience in their time is just a catastrophic event. At least it is to them. It's not, but they think it is. Now, recently we've done comments about the Super Bowl, and if you're familiar with cruising, you've been on some cruises, the Super Bowl, that's something they're going to show on the big screen. They do it every year. It's common, it's normal, it's just an event that they do. And we've had plenty of comments from those that are upset all the time that what they want to see up on the big screen isn't being shown. And they use all the usual comments. It's what everybody wants. It's America's choice. All that kind of stuff they say. America's favorite. Every American wants it. They always say that when, what they want is not being shown on the big screen. But when it comes to the Super Bowl, the cruise lines are going to show it. But surprise, surprise, there's people that are actually still mad and still upset because it is going to be shown. They don't want it on there. They say if you want to watch the Super Bowl, you can go watch it somewhere else. Play it somewhere else on the ship. Hey, if you want a cruise and it's Super Bowl, that's your fault. You shouldn't have booked a cruise during the Super Bowl. Now, a lot of times I can agree with that statement when it comes to something specific. We've seen the comments before where you're not showing this episode of Yellowstone. You're not showing the debate. You're not showing the election. You're not showing this trial going on in court. Yeah, for those kinds of things, if that's something you absolutely want to watch, yeah, you're going to watch that elsewhere. Get yourself the internet package, watch it on your own device. Don't book a cruise during that particular time. Well, guess what? That's a two-way street because the cruise line is going to show the Super Bowl. So if you don't want to see it on the big screen, well, the same thing applies to you. Don't book a cruise during Super Bowl weekend if you don't want to see the Super Bowl up on the big screen. But that's called common sense. And instead of people following the common sense, the logic, or say doing something else on the cruise ship while the Super Bowl is playing, instead they got to write in a comment. They got to have something to say. The cruise line must change how they do it, why they do it, and they must change it immediately. And of course, they got to throw things in there like, I pay your salary. If you're the kind of person that's going to act this way over something so little, we have to ask ourselves, do we need your contribution that bad? If you're the kind of person that can't go with the flow knowing that this is going to be on the screen, do we really need you to book cruises with us after all? Now, we're going to read the comment and we're going to look at the survey. This survey's a little different though. This survey was almost a dead heat, almost perfectly even for those that said yes and those that said no. Normally we have like a huge gap between the minority and the majority. This one's a little different though. So someone wrote in, seeing your response to Joe that the movies will be canceled and the Super Bowl will be shown in its place. This is not fair to the majority of people who have paid this cruise and pay your salary, John. This decision needs to be reversed. The game can be shown in other places. Movies under the stars are one of the best parts of the cruise, and now we are losing out. So I want to start with just the comment. And they said, this is not fair to the majority of the people who paid to be on this cruise. And it is this majority that pays his salary. This is a comment to Carnival Cruise Lines, of course. And so they are referring to John Heald, Carnival Cruise Lines brand ambassador. And the majority of this people, it's not fair to them and they pay his salary. So this must be reversed immediately. The game can be shown in other places, and movies under the stars is one of the best parts of the cruise. Now we'll go back to the survey here in a minute and realize real quickly that it's not the majority of people that agree with this. And yes, the game could be shown in other places, but couldn't movies also be shown in other places while the game is on? We're talking a few hours out of an entire cruise that this game will be up on the big screen. just a few hours. And if movies under the stars are the best part of the cruise, again, the game is on for a few hours. It's not on the entire cruise, which means there will still be movies under the stars. There's just going to be a game on for a few hours. And look, I can say that because I personally could care less if the Super Bowl is up on the big screen. I'm not going to watch it because I don't care. But as a cruiser, I know it's going to be there and I can find something else to do somewhere else on the cruise ship for the couple of hours this game is going to be on. This is not going to make or break my cruise. This is not going to ruin my day, ruin my cruise, and make me write in a comment demanding it is changed because I am paying someone's salary. That is ridiculous. See how that works? As a person who doesn't want to watch it, I don't think others should be stopped from watching it. I don't think others should not be allowed to enjoy it. I will simply go find something else to do during that time period. That's called adulting. That's called realizing the world does not revolve around Chris. Wouldn't it be nice if everybody else, like this person, could understand that too? But let's get back over to the survey. So 11,692 people did vote and said if I was on the cruise, I would definitely be watching the Super Bowl on the big screen. They're not agreeing with the comment. They're not agreeing with that statement. They're voting for if they were on the ship, they would be watching the Super Bowl. And a slightly lower amount, 11,538 people, said if I was on the cruise, I would not be watching the Super Bowl and would prefer a movie. So in this particular survey, not by a lot, but the majority, okay, the bigger number did say they would be watching the Super Bowl. But again, this occurs one time a year. 365 days a year, one of them is going to have the Super Bowl on it. So if you absolutely don't want to see the Super Bowl on your next cruise over Super Bowl weekend, don't book a cruise. Don't be on the Lido deck. Don't be watching the big screen. Hey, look, problem solved. Now you see why I call this a first world problem. They're arguing about whether or not a football game should be played on a big screen. Everything that's going on in the world and their focus is the fact that there's going to be a game on instead of a movie. But at the end of the day, here's the bottom line. That decision's not going to be reversed. That game is going to be up on the big Lido deck screen. Those that want to watch it are going to get to enjoy it. Those that don't want to watch it, you don't have to look at it. That easy, that simple. Again, not a fan of the football, not going to watch the Super Bowl. I would still be okay. I can find something else to do. And if I can do it, so can everybody else. But what do you guys think? Should the game be on? Should the game not be on? Should this decision be immediately reversed because you have booked and paid for that cruise, which means you are paying the brand ambassador's salary? Or maybe today, let's add a third choice. And the third choice will be, damn, what the heck is wrong with some of these people? Is this really all you have to worry about? And that's going to be our video for today. If you've enjoyed today's video, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you haven't done so yet, do me a favor and hit subscribe. It is free to do so. Helps our channel grow. Let you know anytime we put out a new video. Hope everyone out there is having a really great day. And like always, we will see you out on the high seas.